Blake?
Yeah, I gave all three of you a copy of what he just basically said. We had a change of ownership go to a trust, and so we sent out a letter that hopefully you got in your packet there that says we need to have them sign up for the new homeowner exemption by April 15th. Not knowing his circumstances, anyway, we received it on May 21st, so that's the appeal. So one of those time matters of whether it's gone past the date we generally have. So if you guys want to rule on what you want to do.
It's like
when it goes to, I have a question, and if I could, like, or maybe this is a question for legal counsel, but when it goes to a family trust and the principal's name is a homeowner that's had since 2011, is that change ownership? Does that change the ownership of the house?
The ownership now belongs to the trust, so we need to have the trust signed for homeowner exemption to see if the same individuals are involved in it. But that's the procedure they've done in the last 25 years I've been here on all of these things, is just to make sure we have homeowner exemption tied to what the ownership is. And each time it changes names of ownership, we get a new application, send out a letter and request a new signed homeowner exemption.
Yeah, on the trust itself has my name and my wife's name in the trust itself. As it's not a different name, it's not, you know, some made up name. It has my name on the trust as well as part of the name. So there's a correlation between the name on the original property and the name on my trust, which was switched over.
Right.
Mr. Fisher, if I could, this is Mr. Radford. What's the motive for changing the house into the trust? I'm trying to get why you did that. I'm trying to understand why COVID would interfere with plans. I'm not death. I understand death in the family, but help me understand the motive. If the trust is the same as the ownership, you and your wife, why did you do it? Why did you change it?
Well, the trust name has my name, my wife's name in it. I think as any good parents, you look at putting together your own personal living trust, right? Just legally, you never know when something's going to happen to you. So it was just, I just had the opportunity to work with a lawyer and get a trust built. There's nothing beyond that other than just developing my own living will and trust as a husband and wife. You want to protect your assets, you want to protect your family. And you know, when the lawyer says, hey, we'll move all this stuff over into your living trust, your home, and, you know, other assets that I have, then, you know, that's all there was. I mean, I'm not blaming it on COVID. What I am saying, though, is because of the COVID with my father passing, him being in Utah, and he passed on, again, April 8th was his passing date, to be able to work through all the funeral arrangements and those things. Again, I'm in Idaho. I had to go down to Utah and spend, you know, a week and a half working on different things down there, trying to get this through. Obviously, my mind was not, this was the last place where my mind was going to be. So that's where the challenges came in with trying to, again, meet that perceived deadline, because that was totally blown out of my mind when that type of a situation occurred. And again, that sounds like, hey, you know, it sounds like, hey, that's a, you know, did you just make that up or something? But anyway, that's the truth. And I could send you death certificates and all sorts of stuff to verify that. But that's, yeah, that's what happened.
Well, and a couple things. I mean, the trust is another legal entity, whatever your motivation. It's a different legal entity. But I was looking at the letter that was sent out to you. It was sent out on January 31st.
Right. Yeah. Well, like I mentioned, when I first received it, I didn't really know what it was because, and I just set it aside. I didn't act upon it real quick. I know that there's some Bonneville County tax things that we signed for the living trust that they had us sign, and dealing with deeds and different stuff. So I set aside. I just didn't get to it. I know I had till April 15th to get to it, and then my father happened. So
This is Commissioner Reed. For your father's passing, and I know it's since March has been a difficult time right now.
We're having a hard time hearing you, Brian.
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, as long as you're facing directly into the microphone.
I know that, I just said I'm sorry for your father's passing. I know since March it's been difficult to navigate, the new climate that we're in right now. But I had the same issue as Commissioner Christensen. You received this in January, well, the end of January, must have been first part of February. And so, with that much time, I know we haven't made an exception on these in the past that I can remember, unless there are some extenuating circumstances, which I thought maybe the COVID and everything was, but because this letter was received so early, I'm not sure there's a way that we can backdate this to cover 2020, unless the other commissioners have another way to take care of it.
No, I think what Commissioner Reed is referring to is the statute is pretty clear on the deadline. There's no hardship on a deadline. And that's unfortunate on things like homeowners exemption. It used to be, Blake, you might refresh my memory, but it used to be the deadline was first of January or January, and the legislature extended it to April 15 to allow a little time. But beyond that, the taxing districts have already set their budgets, and they just don't have a mechanism for us to go back and take it back from them.
Yeah, and I would agree with that, unfortunately, Mr. Fisher. I wish that we could do something personally, but I don't see how we can, because our hands are kind of tied on this.
And I agree. Dave?
well, it's just unfortunate. Anyway, the fact of the matter is I had till April 15th. Yes, I could have done it sooner, but I had till April 15th. It was still within those guidelines when this tragedy happened with my father. I don't know what else would be a more valid, with everything going on anyway, more valid appeal than that. I would think there'd be some compassion on the city's component, to where I've had that exemption since 2011. I understand the legal issue of it. Well, I didn't understand it when I put it over to a trust. I didn't understand all this stuff needed to take place, but
Probably something your
I found out about.
your attorney who put it together should have considered.
Well, and that's why that was a little confusing, because there was some certain items that we did sign for Bonneville County tax purposes. And so, that might have been a deed exemption or something. I don't know what I can't remember what it was, but yeah, that's just unfortunate, that the city wouldn't have that kind of loyalty to, to us as tax-paying, customers, if you will, tax-paying citizens here in the city. That's just kind of beyond me.
Unfortunately, compassion and loyalty don't give us license to not enforce the law when it's a law, and there's no other exemption allowed on that.
Yeah, I haven't seen one, even when grandmother's in a hospital, we haven't. That's an exemption that you have to apply for it. It's unfortunate that it changes ownership, but like Roger said, Commissioner Christensen pointed out that when you change something, ownership, either if you stop utilities or anything like that, they're constantly looking for reasons not to give the exemption. And when you change put that home in a trust, it changed the nature of its legal entity. Of you have to reapply when you miss the deadline to reapply. You know, and it's not the city making this decision; it's the county, by the way.
I wish we could do something different. This Commissioner Reed, under Idaho Code 63-602G, I would move that we deny this appeal. Leave it on for the 2021.
Hey, Dave?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, and I agree. So it's unfortunate. You know, we share the concern Commissioner Reed does with the passing of your father, but just doesn't give us an option under the code. So we'll send you a letter out outlining that.
Yeah. All right. Well, I appreciate your time.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Well.